Welcome, guys, to John's Football Channel. This is a post review of Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich in the Champions League quarterfinals. What a game this was! The game finished 2-1 in the first leg. Mbappe scored, Luis Diaz and Kane scored. Let's get into this and dissect how this game actually went down. So first up, let's go with the lineup. Real Madrid, they went with Lewin in goal, Carras as the left back, Loyelson, Rudiger, Trent as a defense, and then in the midfield they went Valverde, Pichard, Chouameni, and Giller in the midfield, and then up front they went with Vinicius and Mbappe. If you take a look at Bayern Munich's lineup, they went with Manuel Neuer in goal. What a legend! This guy's still playing at such an old age, still able to perform for the team. He went with Stanistic as the right back, Upacano and Tar as the CD centre backs, and then Lemmer as the left back. Then they went with Kimmich and Pavlovic as the CDMs. They went with Luis Diaz, Gnabry and Olise as the midfield up front of just behind Harry Kane, and then Harry Kane up front. It's very interesting how they played Gnabry as the cam for this game, but I think also at times obviously they were rotating and able to be more flexible in terms of anyone can just chop in and actually help the next one on the wing and overload the team that they're playing against in this formation and in this setup with basically three wingers up front. Then let's get into it. They also had some substitutes like Davis, Musiala, and Goretzka for Bayern Munich, and then for Real Madrid they had Militao, Bellingham, and Brian Diaz, also another very good player. Then let's get into how the game actually went. So Chouameni ended up getting a yellow card in the first half in the 36 minutes. Then Luis Diaz ended up scoring, assisted by Gnabry in the 41st minutes. And then we look in the second half, I think it was a couple of seconds in the second half, we have Harry Kane ended up scoring and assisted by Olise in the 46 minutes, makes it 2-0 for Bayern Munich. And then they end up making some subs, both teams. And then it comes into the second half, the 74th minute, where Trent ends up giving an assist to Mbappe to make it 2-1 for the game. If we look at the steps, this game was a very, very end-to-end. I mean, the ball possession was very, very simple, very fair, basically 50-50. And if we look at the shots on target, 20 shots each, 40 shots in the game. Unfortunately, only half of those shots, but it's not that bad. I mean, half the shots, for every 2 shots you score, at least one is on target. They had both teams basically had 8 shots on target. Real Madrid had 9 and Dingy had 8, and then touches in the box they had 37 to 45. Biggest chances, they both had very big chances to actually score. Big chances missed. One team had 3, the other team had 2. And then we had the accurate passes also. It was very up there. I mean, very good numbers of passes. And then foul committed were also fair, 12-12. Offsides really, really low, 1 and 2. So they knew exactly how to not overdo it and time their runs and everything like that. For this game, you can clearly see it was very, very tight, very not easy to break the other team down. And obviously, this is how it's supposed to be in the Champions League, where we get into the later stages of the Champions League, and it's not easy to overcome the opposition because we know what caliber both teams bring for this game. And then we look at the main top 6 players who have done well for this game. For Bayern Munich, it was Kane, Manuel Neuer, and Olise. And then for Real Madrid, the main performers were Mbappe, Trent, and Giller for this game. And then if we look Obviously, Olise ended up getting the man of the match. He was the most consistent player on the field. Let me know down below. Do you guys agree with that? Do you think he was? Is there anyone else in mind that actually deserves to be there ahead of him? Maybe didn't get enough, like let's say FIFA points or rating to get him up there, but he was one of the men to actually deserve to be man of the match. Let me know down below what you guys think. And then obviously, if we look at the next games for the quarterfinals, we obviously have Bayern Munich against Atletico Madrid. That's going to be very interesting because they know each other. Both teams know each other quite well. They play in the same league, so it is a question of. I think it will be very, very more slow, more rugged, because I think they will both know they have strong sides to both of their games. And I think they'll be very wary in order to make a mistake. For that game, I'm gonna go. I think Barcelona will edge it 2-1. Go for this game against Barcelona against Atletico Madrid. Then we have PSG against Liverpool. It is a question of Arne Slot. Can he overturn the tables of the form that he's been going through? Does the team still play for him? Is another question. For this game, I'm going to go with PSG. I think I'm going to go with PSG to win either 3-1 or 3-0. I think Liverpool don't actually make it. And then we also saw Arsenal with a very, very sluggish performance, I would say. I mean, yes, you're playing Sporting, and they deserve, to an extent, to be in the Champions League and where they have come. But as an Arsenal team, I mean, you got to be beating Sporting way longer than what they did. They only ended up scoring in the 90th minute against Sporting. That's not good enough for Arsenal. Their levels need to really shape up, because it looks like right now that they're just trying to hold on to all the competitions that they have. It looks like that at any moment they could lose everything. It is a question of, can they lose a league? Probably not, but the Champions League definitely. Then have another thing of, if they don't change their form and change their momentum for the season, they will be punished. And it will be a question of, can Sporting beat them in the second leg, and actually steal this thing away from them. Let me know down below what you guys think. What you guys think of the Arsenal game. But that's how I see it. I think Arsenal will definitely lose if they don't change anything and change their trajectory for the season. I know it's very easy to say and different to do, but it needs to be done in order for Arsenal to actually get something and actually turn this thing around for this season. They haven't doing bad. They did get a win, but it was very, very tight. So yeah, guys, this is my post review of Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. Let me know else what you guys think about this game. Which other games do you think will be quite interesting? I think, like I mentioned, the PSG and Liverpool match. I think it will be a bit more interesting to see what happens in that game. But I think it will be a case of Liverpool trying to attack PSG, and I think every time there will be actually counter-attacks, and I think that is where PSG actually end up getting their goals. I do see Liverpool right now, they're very shaky at the back, and not knowing exactly what to do. And I think that's where PSG will actually overcome and actually dominate that game. Let me know down below what you guys think of your score predictions for Bayern Munich, for Atletico Madrid against Barcelona, and for PSG against Liverpool. This is my post review. Peace.